Hi, my name is Jessica Vaughn. I have been a high school math teacher for 14 years. I am currently working on completing my educational specialist degree in instructional technology at Kennesaw State University. I am currently on track for completing the program in May 2017. The title of my capstone project is Integrating Effective Technology in the Math Classroom. My intention in this capstone project was to increase the effective use of technology by flipping my math class. The problem and area of need that I wanted to address is the lack of success in high school mathematics. When I began this project in the end of fall 2015, 55% of 9th grade Marietta High School students failed Algebra 1. We have to figure out how to improve this and other alarming statistics about student success in math. Technology is becoming more readily available, but not as often used, especially in the math class. Research shows that effective use of technology will increase results in mathematics classrooms. I wanted to find a way to put the technology to better use and help get students more engaged in the courses. There's a great amount of research on the benefits and improvements in math classrooms when flipped learning is implemented. Here's just a sample of some of the research on flipped learning. The flipped model of instruction is a relatively new teaching strategy attempting to improve student engagement and performance by moving the lecture outside the classroom via technology and moving homework and exercises with concepts inside the classroom via learning activities. And in 2013, a study by Sam and Bergman found a visible change in the engagement in their classrooms once students got familiar with the process. The instructional videos helped shift the lower level of Bloom's taxonomy out of the classroom and replace them with activities that encourage students to apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Here's the original plan of my capstone project. First, in order to learn the technology of creating videos, I met with a media specialist who is also the chair of the Media and Technology Committee. She showed me several options for applications and websites I could use to create videos of my lessons. I decided to use Screencast-O-Matic to record my videos. I also knew I needed to talk to other teachers that have previous experience running a flipped classroom to get advice, direction, and encouragement. There's a science teacher at my school who has flipped her biology class for years with great success. Second, creating the flipped video lessons was much easier than I expected. They were easier to create and store on Screencast-O-Matic's website. I also learned how to upload videos to my webpage on the school-wide learning management system. This provided a great platform for students to view my videos. They could be viewed when assigned or at a later date for reviews and tutorials. Third, my original goal was to implement flipped lessons once a week. These flipped video lessons would include checkpoint quizzes and a follow-up survey to collect data on how many students watched the videos as assigned. Fourth, the next step in my project was to compare results of assessments from this year to results from the same unit assessments from previous years. Fifth, I wanted to meet with the media specialist and math administrators to see if there is interest among other math teachers to learn about flipped classrooms. And last, I wanted to share results and tutorials with other math teachers in a professional development course. This is the list of items that was used to collect results and evaluate the success of my project. To evaluate my project, I plan to collect and analyze my bank of video lessons, checkpoint quizzes for each video lesson, student surveys, assessment results, and math teacher surveys. I'll go through each of these items with samples of the results in the next few slides. So, was it a success? Ultimately, my originally planned project failed. Flipping my classroom did not work like I expected. However, there were many successful results that came from the project. Much was learned, and I have important background information that I can now use to better the process and implementation of a flipped classroom in the future. 50% of my activities went as planned, but the other half did not. I learned the technological components of creating and uploading lessons and reviews with the Screencast application. I have used them almost daily in all of the math classes that I teach, but not in the way I originally planned. I had to make adjustments to best suit my students and my situation. I reflected a lot. I actually stressed and worried about my results, but then realized it's a learning process, and I now know what I need to do in order to improve in the future. I did share a mini professional development course with a group of math teachers, but the focus was different than originally planned. I shared with them how to create videos using the Screencast-O-Matic website. I also showed them how to set up and use their pages on the learning management system to share these videos with students. I explained that my goal was to flip my classroom and explained what that meant, but the focus of the workshop was on the technicalities of the screencasts and websites. This is a screenshot of the Screencast-O-Matic channel in which I stored my IB Math Studies videos. A bank of video lessons and reviews has been accumulated, and this is for one of the courses I currently teach. I have others for geometry support, Algebra 1, Foundations of Algebra, and Algebra support. And these will all be used again in the future, assuming I'm teaching the same courses. And I'll continue to add to them. This was probably my biggest success, the sheer number of videos that I can add to and improve on next year. This bank includes video lessons and review videos. For the reviews, I created a shorter videos working through single problems in each clip. This allows students to quickly find the questions that they need to review without having to watch through a bunch of problems from one assignment if they don't want to. One thing I learned is that less is more for videos. My students were much more likely to watch shorter videos. I think this is due to a lack of consistency on my part. In the future, I will implement flipped lessons more frequently and hold students accountable for getting into the routine of watching videos to prepare for a flipped class. The checkpoint quizzes gave mixed results. The students did really well on the quizzes that were given during a flipped video lesson. However, only a small percentage of the students that watched the videos actually took those quizzes. They were written to be short and simple to just have the students focus on what they were learning. I expected results to be good. However, on each flipped lesson, less than half of the total students took the quiz because they didn't complete the flipped lesson as assigned. This is a graph that shows the results from one single question of a checkpoint quiz that students were supposed to take as they watched a flipped lesson on sets and Venn diagrams. Notice only 19 students took the quiz and out of 59 total students in this course. And then this graph shows the overall scores of the checkpoint quiz given for sets and Venn diagrams. 15 students got between an 81 and a 100%, but again, only 19 students attempted the quiz. There are 59 students in the two sections of this course that I teach. These results can be misleading if you aren't focused on the total number of students that attempted the quiz. The student surveys gave me the most important feedback. My students did not watch the videos like I expected. When less than half of the class watches the assigned video to preview a topic, I couldn't continue as planned with the in-class activities. If I had computer access in my classroom at the time, I would have continued with the activity for the students who did watch the lesson and make students watch the video if they didn't complete the assignment beforehand. However, I didn't have the laptops in my classroom until March. I was planning on having a new class set of laptops at the beginning of this school year. I hoped that these percentages would increase as I gave more flipped lessons, but sadly they did not. My opinion on this result is that flipped lessons were not implemented consistently. Therefore, my students did not get in the habit of viewing the lessons before class, which is my fault. In the survey given to students, I asked if they watched the video and then if no, to tell me why they didn't watch it. This is a small sample of the student responses for one of the flipped video lessons. These results were anonymous, so I have no reason to think they weren't honest. Again, most said they didn't watch the video because they simply forgot. In the future, if I implement flipped lessons on a more consistent basis, I hope these results will shift and more students will follow through by watching assigned flipped lessons before coming to class. I originally felt like my capstone project was a failure. However, as I have been summarizing my project, I have been focused on looking for the successful aspects. While it did not amount to what I expected, I learned a lot of valuable things that I can use for future improvements. Regardless of how videos are implemented into a classroom, they are a great resource. Combining the technology of screencast video with a teacher web page stretches the classroom far broader than it was previously. I am able to introduce a blended learning platform to my students. My classroom is attainable outside of the school building. This has already created benefits when students are absent or struggling with a specific content. As I continue to implement videos for different purposes, I will be expanding the technological resources and supports available to my students. This is just a small sample of the sources I used in this capstone project, those that I cited in this presentation. I found many more articles and studies about flipped classrooms, specifically in math classrooms. The research is there. I just have to figure out how to fine-tune it in order to have a successful flipped classroom of my own.